and welcome to another Radio Times Strictly Come Dancing live chat. I'm Sarah Doran.
I'm Frances Taylor.
And today we are previewing the first live weekend of Strictly Come Dancing. Frances, this is like one of my TV highlights of the year.
It is for me as well, although I have to say I could do with it being either a tad shorter or strict over Friday and Saturday, because in previous years they've kind of like, we've had the boys maybe on the Friday and the girls on the Saturday, and it's been a bit more spaced out. 2 hours and 20 minutes of pure Strictly joy on Saturday.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Which is great, but this is the BBC, so we're talking no ad breaks, no going to the toilet, no getting a cup of tea unless you want to miss stuff. So yeah, you kind of got to brace yourself.
I kind of don't mind jumping out during the odd VT. They're kind of not my favourite bit of it, but
I am happy to skip the VTs. I think we can confidently say that. They're not the best bit of Strictly, let's be honest.
We have to say we are celebrating Strictly on the cover of Radio Times this week as well. Frances has been down interviewing all the celebs. So we've got a girls cover and a boys cover and the beautiful fold outs. You can stick them on your wall.
This is great PR. Keep talking.
I know, she's written all of it.
Yep, did talk to all 15 celebs and the professionals on our very exciting, exclusive shoot. It took 2 days, and the results, 2 amazing covers, which, as Sarah says, in stores now. But yeah, no, it's going to be like a great series, I think. Judging by meeting them, having a bit of a look at them moving behind the scenes, I think it's going to be really great.
It really will, I think. It just says autumn to me, and it's the one time I don't mind the summer being over. And I think particularly this year, Strictly's just really got the edge on X Factor.
Yeah, I think Strictly's had the edge on X Factor for like 5 years, 10 years maybe. There's no ratings competition anymore. There used to be. It was really exciting when the ratings would come in on a Monday if you're a complete saddo like me. And you'd say, oh, who's nudged who this week? Has X Factor slightly beaten Strictly? Those days are long gone. The autumn definitely belongs to Strictly. And I think even if, like me, some of the signings at the start you're like, I'm not too sure, I haven't really heard of them. It never matters, to be honest, on Strictly, because as soon as they get on the dance floor and you follow their journeys and all that rubbish, you get so invested in them. It doesn't matter who they are. I just think it's brilliant.
Speaking of their journeys, they've all been busy in training over the last couple of weeks. Well, almost all of them, but we'll get to that in a minute. So while I've been in my sick bed, I was ill over the weekend, I was lying back, phone above my face, having a look at what they've all been up to on Instagram stories. And there's been some fun stuff going on in training. So we know that Sean Walsh has already dropped Katya.
Didn't take long.
No, I think she's kind of like held this over him a little bit. He was like, you're going to see it on Katya's Instagram story. They've really built this up. And then we got to it, and then I think Katya's phrasing of it was, you banged me on the floor. Just hilarious.
Oh dear, something lost in translation there.
Yeah, nothing to do with Strictly curses, can we just get that straight?
It's really funny though, when they were again at the Radio Times shoot, Sean actually picked her up. He was wobbling a little bit, but they just about managed it with the use of a chair. Kind of Katya had to get on a chair to get on his shoulders. And then after they'd done it, they were like, that's our first lift. That was our very first lift. So we were witness to the very first Sean and Katya lift. But I'm hoping they've got a bit better since then in the dropping.
Didn't he say he thought that the girls were like photoshopped onto the boys' shoulders or something like that he didn't actually have to lift it? Really, really funny. Speaking of fun lifts, Kate Silverton, I know she was telling you she was eager to get Allie on the school run and to meet her kids.
Yeah, and to make some of the mums at the school happy, apparently, to see Allie at the school gates.
Yeah, well, it seems like they've been bonding as well, because once again, I've been lying in bed on my Instagram stories.
Is this all you do?
This is all I do with my life. And Kate and Allie have been having an absolute ball. I mean, I think, was it Kate introduced Allie to her son Wilbur? And Allie picked him up and did this like perfect Charleston spin with him, put him down, and Wilbur just like runs off. And Kate's like, I have lost Allie to the children. All I can hear is, Allie, climb on my back. And her little boys upstairs, they're having fun, they're playing wrestling, they've got teddy bears out, they're having a really good time. Really lovely bond.
I say, judging by that video, Wilbur Silverton for Strictly 2019.
Completely.
I mean, he's not very old, but it doesn't matter. Get him on. Neither's Joe Sugg.
Following his mum's footsteps. We love Joe Sugg, really. Finally, one person who hasn't had much time to do training, probably, and we did get a hint of this when you met her, is Lauren Steadman, because she's been off winning para-triathlete gold. We've seen all the Strictly celebs and pros tweeting about this week. Congratulations, Lauren, obviously from us as well. Frances, is she going to have enough time in 2 days?
I'm a bit worried about this, I have to say. And both Lauren and AJ did also seem a bit concerned, because this was in Australia, I think, this World Championships. And I remember sort of even joking to AJ saying, you're going to be going to Australia as well with her? And he very much wasn't. So, yeah, she's getting back 2 days before the first live show, which means, I mean, that's some super cramming. It's kind of proper old school cramming for an exam, having 2 days to do it. And I am a bit worried compared to a lot of the other celebs who have been really solidly in that training room for 2 weeks. But, you know, she is an athlete. She's being used to being under pressure, and also all the fitness side of it, she's got that nailed. So she might be okay.
Going for gold on more than one dance floor. Let's say that way.
There you go.
Can you call it para-triathlon a dance floor?
No.
This is what happens when you get carried away with puns. Right, we want to talk about the dance Laura will be trying to do, the dances everybody will be trying to do, because the all-important Strictly song and dance list has been revealed. Now, there are 15 dances, so we're going to read them from a list. We're not going to learn these off by heart and be able to read them out. So we'll kick it off with Ashley and Pashly, who are doing a Viennese waltz to Ed Sheeran's Perfect.
Now, I'm happy about Viennese Waltz, do love Viennese Waltz. Not so happy about the song choice on this one. I think Perfect by Ed Sheeran is one of the most overplayed songs, and it's always wheeled out for things like this. And you think, can it not be a little bit more original? Some of the other choices, you don't really hear them too often, but this gets me rolling my eyes and go, oh, not again.
I feel
can't hear this song again.
I feel like I've heard this song on Strictly, and perhaps the pros danced to it previously.
Sure,
I could be wrong.
I'm sure it's happened a million times, but I think it's interesting for her to be starting off on something a bit more ballroom, because she seems a bit more confident in the Latin. She said that herself. So I think this will be sort of really baptism of fire for her for, Viennese Waltz.
Moving on to Charles and Karen, who are kicking things off with a cha-cha-cha to Ain't No Love, Ain't No Use by Sub Sub featuring Melanie Williams. Not gonna lie, I don't know this song.
Yeah, neither do I. We didn't really do a research. We haven't looked up many of these songs beforehand, so a lot of them we go, don't know the song. But cha-cha-cha for Charles, I'm quite excited about this. That was really naff, and I just made that up.
I see what she did there.
But yeah, I'm excited about this. I think they could be quite good.
They have really good chemistry.
Insane
chemistry.
Really good chemistry. And also, you know, not to be too much of a perv about it, but he keeps posting these topless pictures in the training room of him and Karen. So I think they've obviously got a really high level of fitness, really high level of stamina, which you need for the cha-cha-cha, as you do all the other dances. So, yeah, high hopes for him. I think it'll be good.
What was it? She said she hadn't seen six-packs like his since Jeremy Vine.
There you go. High praise indeed. High praise indeed.
Moving on swiftly, Danny John-Jules and Amy Dowden are going to do a foxtrot to the Top Cat theme. Now, no prizes for guessing where the producers got this from. Danny, of course, played Cat in Red Dwarf. I'm really excited for this because I think he seems like he's got moves. And Amy was with Brian Connolly last year. You know, it was her debut. I felt like maybe she didn't get to show everything she could do. I'm really interested to see how they get on with the foxtrot.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think, he's said as well he's the oldest male in the competition, so that's what he sort of hasn't got going for him. But what he has got going for him is that he did actually take dance classes with Bruno Tonioli back in the 70s. So I think he's going to be okay, Danny John-Jules, but I think this is like Gold Star Prize Award for the Strictly cheesy producer song choice. There's always one, going down the years, there's always a really tenuous link to someone's career, or like Ainsley Harriott doing, what was it, tomatoes, what was he doing? I can't remember, something to do with tomatoes. It was just embarrassing. So yeah, Top Cat is, I think, where that came from. I'm just going to roll my eyes.
The next one is one I'm really looking forward to. Right? I absolutely love How Will I Know by Whitney Houston. It's one of my, if I'm in a club, if I'm at a wedding, once it comes on, it's just, you know, jumping, jiving round. It is the soundtrack to Dr. Runge and Jeanette Manrara's Cha Cha Cha. I cannot wait for this.
I don't think he can either.
No.
He can't contain his excitement. Dr. Runge, as well as Susanna Constantine as well, should say, they're going to be our Strictly columnists in Radio Times every single week, starting next week. So yeah, he said a little bit about this. He's very excited about it, but he's also sort of juggling an NHS job at the same time. So he's going to be absolutely exhausted, but hopefully he'll still have enough left in the tank to get through the Cha-Cha-Cha on Saturday.
We can talk about Cha-Cha challenging.
This is, well, we've got to call an end to these cha-cha-cha puns. They're getting worse.
Okay, well, it doesn't help that we're on to another cha-cha-cha next. It's Faye Tozer and Giovanni Panice. They are dancing to Lullaby. So it's Sigala or Sigala with Paloma Faith. I love this song. It's real bouncy. It's really fun. There's a brilliant moment in our video interview with Faye and Giovanni, which will hopefully by the time you watch this be live on the Radio Times YouTube channel, where they do have a little joke about teaching him the moves to tragedy.
Yeah.
I think these two are going to be great fun.
Yeah, I do. And I think what's really lovely, actually, compared to maybe some of the others, is that Faye is a huge Strictly fan. She said she cried her eyes out when she found out that she was on it, and she really did know her stuff. When I was asking about her favourite moments or who she loved, she just had an encyclopedic knowledge of the show. And I think that enthusiasm is really going to come across actually on screen, and viewers are really going to warm to her. So yeah, high hopes.
I personally cannot wait. Okay, the next one is one that's a bit of a bone of contention with me, but maybe I'll be proved wrong. So Graham Swan and Oti Mabuse, I will have to say, are, having watched all of our video interviews, having seen them in action, are my favourite couple this year.
They got good chat.
They've got amazing They're doing a samba in week 1. Now, think back, not last year, year before, in week 10, Oti pulled off the samba to end all sambas with Danny Mac to Magalena. Like,
it was amazing.
I can't even begin to describe it.
So many arms and legs. Yeah, it was incredible.
Why are we wheeling out like her show house dance in week 1? Is Graham about to really surprise us? Is he actually amazing?
I think he is. Now, again, it's interesting, isn't it? Because you haven't really seen them all in action. But again, from talking to the other celebrities and talking about people behind the scenes, everyone's actually said, look out for Graham.
Yeah.
Look out for Graham. And it's funny because he's one of those ones that when he was announced, you go, oh, he's sort of a retired cricketer. I'm not too sure. But actually, he seems like he's going to be a real dark horse. He has fantastic chemistry with Oti. He looks like he's got a few moves in him, actually. And I know what you mean. Week 1, is this right? But I do think they could blow it out the water, and it'll be one of those ones where people are going, well, where can they go from there? Like, they've done so well in week 1. Can they get any better?
Could this be like Mark Ramprakash all over again?
It could well be.
Mark and Karen, Darren Gough, a lot of brilliant cricketers over the years. You never know. On to one of our favourite couples we talked about already. Kate and Allie are doing a cha-cha-cha yet again. Who knew? Another cha-cha. Cha-cha-cha is all the rage this week. They're dancing to Kiss by Tom Jones. I think this could be really fun.
I think it could be, yeah. I'm not as excited about this one, I have to say, primarily because not that excited about the song or seeing yet another cha-cha-cha. I think it's 4 this week, which
I think at least.
It's quite cha-cha-cha heavy. I was trying to do another pun then, but I couldn't think of one. So you just think, are we going to be fatigued by the time we get to the 4th one?
I don't know.
But again, I think they could have a good relationship, at least. If nothing else, even if they're not the best on the dance floor, I think they're going to get on really well.
I think what they all need to do is talk to Pasha, because we got Pasha's top tips for a Strictly Cha-Cha-Cha. So we may have to share those in the days to come ahead of this big Cha-Cha challenge. Get in touch, give us a call. We've got Pasha on the line, Okay, Katie and Gorka, Katie Piper and Gorka, I think are a really nice couple. They have a lovely interview. She really wants to learn. He really wants to teach her. He seems really inspired by her, and she's really inspired by him. So they're kicking things off with a waltz to When We Were Young by Adele. I think this has the potential to be really beautiful.
Really moving. Yeah, I think this is going to be one that Shirley's going to be wiping a tear from her eye. I can see it happening now. But no, I agree. Really nice song, really nice dance for a first week as well. And I think she's going to be one that goes really far, actually.
I think so. Again, I think she'll surprise herself.
Yeah, I think so. And she's got a really high level of fitness already, and she seems, as you say, like really enthusiastic and really passionate, and saying she's going to treat it like a 9-to-5 job, do loads and loads of rehearsing and everything. So yeah, she could be one of those ones that maybe doesn't start off as necessarily the best, but she'll have that journey and she'll grow and she'll get really good. That's my prediction anyway.
And she's aiming for Blackpool Week, we know. She's told us her mum's talking about booking the hotel room already.
She is,
And she's promised poor old Gorka, who had a bit of a run-in Blackpool a few years ago, that she's going to protect him. What more could you ask for? A woman with incredible spirit.
I love it.
Okay, next up, we've got Lauren and AJ. So as we mentioned, Lauren has been abroad. She's got 2 days to get her head around a waltz.
What is it again? I'm Kissing
You. It's I'm
Kissing You. Desiree.
Yeah.
And every time I hear that song, I think of Rylan Clark Neil fame, because it was the song he sang in his audition for the X Factor about 6 years ago. And I can't get that out of my head.
Niche.
It's very niche. It's very niche. I can't get that out of my head now, so I'll probably just be thinking of Rylan when I'm watching their beautiful waltzing round.
Poor Lauren.
Ballroom.
I do think AJ's quite good in the ballroom. Like, he and Molly had some beautiful ballroom dances last year. I think he's the right person to take Lauren through this one if she's got only 48 hours to do it. And I think she has the potential to be brilliant at this because she's got the determination, she's got the drive. And I've seen her in, we've seen her in her costume on the cover. She looks absolutely stunning. I think she's gonna do well, but again, for meeting them, and I'm not sure they had quite the same chemistry as some of the other couples. So I don't know whether it's probably because they haven't had much time to train as well, to be honest. And because of the whole having a couple of days before the live show starts, you think I don't know if they're gonna have the time to have made that connection in the way that a lot of the others have. That because it's all about that's what Craig and Bruno always talk about, isn't it? The chemistry on the ballroom and having that story and that real bond between them. And I just worry that they're not going to have had time to have actually sort of got that really between them. But we keep our fingers crossed for them.
We'll keep our fingers crossed. Here's hoping.
I think we've fun. Two people we know definitely have chemistry and actually laugh out loud, hilarious. Are Lee Ryan and Nadia Bichkova, who I think gave one of the funniest video interviews I've seen in a long time. Because I don't think Nadia quite knows what Lee's saying.
She doesn't know what she's let herself in for. She didn't really get half of his strange jokes, which I have to say were quite odd. But I love Lee. I thought he was an absolute hoot. Yeah. And I think, again, he's going to be one that viewers really get on board with. But they're dancing too.
Isn't it Take It to the Limit by the Eagles?
Yeah.
I think? And it's a waltz.
It's just again, I'm quite intrigued to see how he's going to get on with
I quite like that Lee is kind of coming, he's not quite the boy band member anymore, but he's not quite in the oldies club necessarily. So he's a bit of like kind of, that kind of, I like a bop to a bit of a rock song, kind of thing. I just think that will be really fun. And I'm really curious. I think he'll be one of those dark horses that he'll prove he's got the moves. Yeah. He's got the voice. He can act.
And Strictly fans,
triple threat.
They obviously like Blue because Simon Webb got to the final in 2014, so he's got that going for him as well.
They love an EastEnders.
Love EastEnders as well. And Nadia's got 2 EastEnders boys in a row because she had Darford last year, and now Lee, who has obviously left, but still EastEnders, still counts.
Well, next up, Sean and Katya, who we've mentioned have already had a little bit of a tumble in training. They're doing a tango, and they're doing it to Sexy Back by Justin Timberlake.
Which is like the biggest juxtaposition. It's like a really serious tango, and then Sexy Back, which, I mean, from the title itself, it's really not serious.
Go heavy, go with it.
That's
so
all I
can say.
But Sean, he was really at pains to say, I'm a comedian, that's my job. I'm not on Strictly to kind of make people laugh and be that sort of joke act, really.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be that.
Doesn't want to be that. But then I'm thinking tango to Sexy Back says otherwise.
Yeah, that kind of feels like that's what the producers are pushing for. It feels like kind of the Ed Balls song, if you know what I mean.
Although I would have given anything to see Ed Balls tango to Sexy Back. Can we have him back to do that? That would be absolutely amazing.
Great. Yeah. So great. Okay, next up, a couple who are fast becoming, I think, a real fan favourite. They're already out there before the show has even started. It's Stacey Dooley and Kevin Clifton. They're about to make Strictly history, according to Stacey, because they're doing the first ever quick step in week 1.
That is bold and brave and exciting. All of those things. Yeah, I think they're going to be such ones to watch. Do you know what? I'm tipping them for the final already. Yeah. I'm going to say it now. I think they've got, again, great chemistry. I think her sort of personality, I think viewers are really going to click with. But also she's got Kevin, who's another real big fan favourite.
He's so loved.
They seem to have such a great friendship already. And I think she's going to be good. She's going to be one a bit like Katie Piper, who perhaps isn't incredible week 1, but she will get really good.
I think she's got like Susan Calman's level of likability. Yeah. And say Susanna Reid or Louise's level of skill. So I think she could possibly be the ultimate combination to finally get Kevin, who has 4 times been the bridesmaid at this stage, that 5th and final win. We should mention they are dancing to Dancing by Kylie Minogue.
Which is a great
song.
What a song! I love that song.
It's
from looking at the sheet and what we're expecting this Saturday, that is the one
that stands out
and that I'm really looking forward to personally. So yeah, can't wait for that.
Okay. This dance, I think, is set to be one of the set pieces of the weekend. It's Susanna and Anton. I nearly called her Susanna Reid. Susanna Constantine and Anton Dubek. They're doing a samba to Tico Tico
by Carmen Miranda. It's got cheese written all over it, more cheese than cheesemongers. Love it, love it. I think, it's going to be difficult for Anton to top last year with Ruth. And obviously that moment where they both fell on top of each other, it was so funny. But again, their relationship, Susanna and Anton, has the potential to go down in Strictly history
I think so
as one
too.
of the best. again, their sort of chat with one another and their relationship. I mean, she very much wears the trousers, let's say that. And I just love them as a pair.
I will say, hers was the only interview in which we had to use a bleep button.
And not just once or twice. It was quite incessant. I think it's going to be hilarious. If she swears.
Yeah.
If she swears live on Saturday, that is.
They have said that Tess needs to be worried about them.
And I think she should. I really think she should.
I think though Anton is a family man. You know, he knows it's a family show.
Yeah,
he'll try and keep things in line. Susanna won't care. Okay, last but by no means least, because they're actually rising right through the ranks. They're becoming the hot favourites. It's Vic Hope, capital FM DJ, and new boy Graziano De Prima. They're doing a jive to Feel It Still by Portugal. Oh, sorry, I can't read. They're doing a jive.
It's only Wednesday.
I know.
Friday. Yeah.
And I think they're going to be
so excited.
So excited.
I think, again, she's the bookie's favourite, like you say, which is always a real bad omen, to be honest. If you haven't even got on the dance floor yet and you're the bookie's favourite, they normally don't actually win. However, I think she is going to be really good. I think she's going to be really good.
That first group dance, she was lifted up into the air and she just held it perfectly.
Not like that.
No, not like that.
A bit better than that. But no, I completely... Oh dear, it's all turned. It's gone very, very bad.
This doesn't happen with Tess and Claudia, Francis. Actually, no, it does.
It does. I agree, actually. She showed real promise in that group dance, and I think that, it could be really good. It could be really good. So many of these, though, you think, that could be really good, and equally, on a sixpence, it could actually be really rubbish, but I think she'll be great. Have we mentioned Joe and Diane?
I was just about to say this. It would be really good if we mentioned the actual last but not least. It's YouTuber Joe Sugg and his partner, Diane Buswell, doing a jive.
To Take On Me.
Take On Me. What a song. What a dance. Now, I saw him tweeting during the week and he was saying he's hoping to surprise his followers.
Interesting.
I'm hoping that's surprise in a good way. I really like these two.
Yeah, I think it's a really great pairing, actually, because I think they're going to bring out the best in each other in terms of their personalities. But also, great song, really fast dance. And for someone who... he said himself he's not the best dancer, he's a little bit apprehensive. I mean, talk about in at the deep end, a jive.
A jive.
I'd be so worried doing a jive in week one because although it looks like a lot of fun, it is, again, stamina central, and he's not, unlike some of them, sports star or, got that perhaps level of fitness that a lot of them do. So he's gonna be one of those ones going over to Tess where you can barely breathe.
Yeah, I think so too. But do you know what? The benefit of doing some of these kind of more technically difficult dances in week one is that the score really doesn't matter as much. It does count. Don't get me wrong. So there's nobody going home this weekend. The judges' scores from this weekend will be combined with the judges' scores from next weekend, plus the public vote next weekend, and that will decide who's in the bottom two and the dance off, and the terms and conditions may apply. I should read this in a really fast voice. But so it is kind of a free-for-all this weekend in a way, and I really do like that about Strictly's live shows. I like that nobody goes home in week one.
I agree. And also I think for anyone doing a really tricky one, or what I think is a tricky one like the jive in week one, it gets it out the way.
Yeah.
It does get out the way, because if there's a dance that they're particularly dreading, that's on the roster, and they think, oh God, I really hate that, at least it's out, it's done, you don't have to worry about it. And then actually some of the more, I don't want to say easier, but perhaps some of the less fast or less technical ones come later on when they're a bit better.
I'm guessing Stacey and Kevin is your highlight for this weekend, the one you're most looking
so,
forward to.
Yeah, just because I love the song, love the dance, love them, love. I'm very excited about that. But I'm willing to be surprised. This is the thing. There's a couple in there, a couple of dark horses like Danny and Amy. I'm actually really excited to see. Again, he's the oldest, but excited to see what he can do. And Graham and Oti, they're kind of like those three, I think. Yeah, Graham, Danny, and Stacey. They're the ones I'm like super excited for.
For me, it's going to be Graham and Oti, Joe and Diane. Really excited, and just for the sheer joy of it, and I'm sure they'll be very good as well, Dr. Runge and Jeanette.
Yeah.
How will I know?
They're going to be great.
Oh, what a
Although
song.
Susanna and Anton, I'm sort of looking forward to in a completely different way, but I can't wait for that.
I'm seeing the Twitter reaction to that on Sunday morning already. It writes itself, this stuff. But we want to know what you think. Which song or dance are you most looking forward to this weekend? Which couple is your favourite? Who have you already got your money on to win? Leave us a comment in the comments box below. Don't forget to check out all of Francis's wonderful Strictly interviews in this week's Radio Times, also here on the Radio Times YouTube channel. like, subscribe, and you'll get updates when all the new Strictly interviews are revealed. We'll have them all up by the big show on Saturday night. And until then, I've been Sarah.
I've been Frances.
Thanks so much for watching, and remember to keep dancing. I can't deliver that like Tessa Claudia.